After the tragic building collapse in Davenport last year that claimed 3 lives and displaced many others, city officials are looking to make changes to their building and inspection codes. Good evening, I'm Sharon DeReek. The city of Davenport just held a meeting to hear a presentation from an outside firm on possible changes the city can adopt. In attendance was a QC nonprofit group leading the charge for change. TV6's Kyle Bales met with them today. He joins us now with their reaction to that meeting, and it is our top story tonight at 10.
Well, the Quad City Tenant Alliance has knocked on hundreds of doors over the past several months to educate residents on their rights and to help them when landlords are not addressing serious maintenance requests. Pushing for change, the QCTA believes the city is moving in the right direction, but with much more work to be done.
A year ago, these conversations were not happening, period.
Davenport City Council gathered Tuesday afternoon to hear from a consulting firm they asked to review the current building and inspection codes and then recommend changes.
So I was really encouraged to see City Council taking steps to actually address concerns around the inspections process and rental housing.
I wasn't surprised by some of the content, but I was happily surprised with their timeline for actually accomplishing and adopting these measures and adding them to the code formally.
One of the suggestions was to make penalties for violations more severe, but the firm did not provide specifics as to what those penalties should be.
I hope that in public at another work session, the City Council is able to discuss the range of penalties that they're considering and why they're leaning one way or the other, or what they can all agree on. I think that's important because clearly a $30 fine isn't going to solve any kind of a problem.
Another suggestion was to require a building owner or representative to be available within 24 hours of an emergency.
That requirement, having not just the owner but also a property manager able to be held accountable during an emergency, is really important to us.
Another key recommendation to council was to require a property to be re-inspected before being sold to another owner. However, regardless of which policies are adopted, the QCTA says enforcement is the most important.
We have some good policies on the books. We're glad to see that those policies are being revisited. But until we see more robust enforcement measures, those policies are going to be meaningless.
Now, also discussed at yesterday's meeting was a rent abatement ordinance that would allow residents to pause rental payments until substandard living conditions are rectified. The city says this ordinance will also be considered alongside the outside firm's recommendations in the coming months. And their plan is to have changes to the building and inspection codes adopted by the end of October.
All right, thanks, Kyle. Now, the Quad City Tenant Alliance will be hosting a Know Your Rights event for all renters seeking information on how to navigate resources when they are in need of help when a landlord is not addressing their living needs. It'll be held at the Davenport Public Library on Main Street on Monday at 6.